This video is Seeing AI, presented by Assisted Touch and Jerry Felice.
Hi everybody, this is Jerry with Assistive Touch. Today we're going to be covering the Seeing AI app. We're going to start with the short text function for Seeing AI. And we're going to take this newsletter here and we're going to put our camera over it.
Ow. Santine, a publication of the NITEC.
So what ends up happening with the app itself is you take your phone and then you put your phone over the document. And then it begins to do live reading of everything. Some best practices for using the app are either putting your hand over the phone to cover it and then placing it down to finish listening to it. Because otherwise, it could start the process of recognizing information again. So for example, this is the way not to use the app.
No edges visible. No edges visible. Should write in Sentinel.
And then if I go here, see, it ends up trying to recognize something else if you move the camera by accident or if you move it to a different location. So if I had moved my camera to here, it would have begun to read from this section here versus this section here of this newsletter, okay? And that's the short text, which looks like this. Short text is this feature here, which is the first button, first tab, or the way that they have it called is a channel. I'll call it a tab. So that's the short text tab.
Short text.
This is the document tab, which we'll also cover today. This tab over to our right is product. So you could take your camera, put it next to a serial number, and it may identify the product. The next tab here is person. So this does do some person recognition, some facial recognition. If you take a picture of someone and if you label that picture and then you use your camera and put the focus on that person, it will say the person's name as long as you've done the programming ahead of time. It also has a feature that allows you to take a picture of someone. It will identify the gender and also the age. So I'm going to go over here. This is currency. So let me demo that real quick because it's a pretty neat feature. Comes in handy. Take out a bill. Place it on the table here.
$20.
So it says
20 US dollars.
Okay. So it did a pretty good job of identifying a bill. All right. Let's move over to the next tab. This is a scene preview, so let's do that really quickly. I'm gonna back up here. So let's take a picture of our environment here.
Processing. Probably a desk with a laptop and a computer on it.
So it did a pretty good job of recognizing the scene. And if you take a picture again, it will give you other pieces of information potentially. But that was a pretty good scene description. So I'm gonna go back. And obviously if you're using VoiceOver, you can double tap and navigate these things. All of these buttons are gonna be actionable. So the camera button was in the center, you could just double tap that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next button. We did currency, we did scene. Now I'm gonna swipe left here. If you're using VoiceOver, you swipe up to move to the next item.
Scene preview color gray.
So that's how you would use the the color tab. Handwriting is pretty neat. And We'll cover that in a little bit. And then we have this, identifies light here. So the closer you get to light, the more intensity that it gives you. So it can be helpful if you want to identify light. All right, so let's go back to the document, which the document one is one of my favorite ones. Let's take this here, and again, some best practices. So we're going to lift this 8 inches to 12 inches vertically. And we're going to move the phone in about 2 to 3 inches in horizontally. And we want to have our phone positioned on the middle of the document itself. And now I'm going to move it to this side. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to move in horizontally about 2 to 3 inches and vertically 8 to 12 inches. And that's going to give me a really good picture result.
Bottom right corner not visible. Processing. Hold.
So now it took my physical document, which I have here, and converted it into digital. I can customize this now in multiple ways. I can either pinch in and navigate my document as if I was pinching into a photo of a document I took. Or I can hit the A's here, and that will increase the size of the text without changing your format, right? So now I can explore this document entirely just because I've increased the size of the text, and it gets actually pretty large. Cancel that. Let's zoom in again. So you can get one word a line. And if you need the document so large, you can navigate it now just vertically and read all of the information. And I can zoom out again if I wanted to make it smaller. Okay, let's do that. And what's nice about it, it also does usually a fairly good job of keeping the paragraph structure. Microsoft did a very good job on this app. You can also share this document as well. That's the last tab on the bottom right-hand corner. You can share image or share text. So if you want to store it someplace in iCloud Drive or your photos, or even copy and paste it, send it as an email, you can do all of those things. Then you have the play button, which is on the bottom left-hand corner. And then you have the pause button, which is on the right of the play button. So this will be readable as well by a screen reader.
Felix Centinela publication of the Native Council on Aging of it.
So I can pause. Now I'm going to go here where we have some text. And just this here. So we have text right here, and it has a handwriting tab on the bottom.
Currency. Scene preview. Handwriting preview.
Okay, and with this one, I gotta take an actual picture. Let me isolate it to the top line here.
Processing.
Phone scams to hang up on rule of thumb. Tell all unsolicited callers to put their offer in the mail.
Thanks for joining me on my tour of Seeing AI. Like, subscribe, share the content, and enjoy the rest of your day.
For more information, contact Jerry Feliz, Access Technology Director, phone number 857-443-6636, email jfeliz@mapcommunity.com.